Okay, here's the audience. Okay, hi, my name is James Runge. I'm doing my persuasive speech on why aliens exist. Now, I just want to make clear that when I say aliens, I don't necessarily mean like little green men. I can mean any sort of like alien life, whether it's microscopic or intelligent or not. And just as an example, there's a microscopic organism called the tardigrade, also known as a water bear because it looks sort of like a bear. Anyway, they've been discovered all around the Earth. They've also been sent out to space, and they survived in space. So there's a theory that possibly they could be from space and landed on Earth. No one really knows for sure, but that's just like a theory. Another idea of aliens is the typical like little green men, you know, in spaceships that come down and abduct people. This particular case was about Travis Walton. In the 70s, he was in Arizona with a group of people. He got what looked like abducted, and his friends saw it. They left him out there basically alone, and they went back into town and told people what happened. Nobody believed him, of course. The police thought they had killed him. He was missing for a few days, I think up to 5 days, and finally came back. Well, in the meantime, his friends, you know, stuck to their story and said, we basically saw a spaceship abduct him, and they took lie detector tests. They all passed. When he came back, he said the same thing. He's like, you know, I was with aliens. They had me in their spaceship or whatever. They brought me back. He also did a lie detector test. He passed. So, and there's a lot of cases for this kind of stuff. I mean, you always hear about alien abductions all over the world. Of course, you know, most of them could be fake, but who knows? This particular one was pretty famous, though. Another person that has to do with like the typical like aliens that you think of is Bob Lazar. He worked at Area 51. He later came out and said there was some technology that he knew was not from Earth, from civilizations like outside of Earth. There's no way humans could have created this sort of technology. Basically his job was to reverse engineer it, try to figure out how it worked, and to create it for humans. So he came out. His story is pretty famous too. There was some idea that maybe he wasn't necessarily on the level because he claimed to have gone to some schools, and then when they went to those schools, they said that he was never there, but he claims that they were just kind of trying to erase him from that, and so he doesn't seem as credible. But there's a documentary actually out about him right now, and he's pretty much stuck to his story as well, and has also done lie detector tests. He never actually saw aliens, just more the technology from aliens. Another just kind of thing about the universe is it's so huge that it's almost impossible to think that Earth is the only planet that has some sort of life on it. Because there's billions and billions of galaxies, billions of planets. It's basically, like I said, next to impossible if there's not some sort of life out there somewhere, whether it's microscopic or intelligent or not. Also, there's a theory that humans themselves are aliens, that we're not necessarily from Earth, that we came from another planet, basically found Earth however long ago, and then essentially made it our home when another planet was actually our home first. So that's another theory. There's a lot of theories. There's a lot of different ideas about aliens or alien life, space. There's a lot of incidences of abductions, like I said. People citing UFOs. There's incidents of the Phoenix Lights, which was a pretty big deal, that a lot of people saw and recorded. It looked like a UFO. So, I mean, you can look at a lot of different stuff. The Roswell incident was a big one in the 40s, and then the Rendlesham Forest in the 80s in England. So, I mean, if you look on the internet, you can find all kinds of stuff. But those are some particular cases, and that's why I believe, and that's why I think you should believe that aliens are real in some form. And here are my sources. And let me pan my crowd again, see if anyone new comes up.